What's up, fellow YouTubers? I'm not going to be live for very long because I'm going to bed here soon. Grabbing some water from the Potion Time glass to stay hydrated and help with the processing of alcohol that I consumed earlier, yes. Shit. Got a nice little thunderstorm I conjured outside. Now, tomorrow I'm going to the post office to check my P.O Box. And on the way down, I can collect some wood and get two birds and one stone, if you catch my drift. Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Not a whole lot. Got an unexpected donation of $20 from one of my fans earlier, so I was doing some drink reviews for a live stream, and I appreciate that. I want to revisit my McDonald's food hack, but I want to do it more properly in the near distant future. But my next food hack is going to involve a grocery store food hack. I think that'll be sick. When I get some wands made, of course, and make some wands. So I'm on Etsy, you know how we do. Yeah, it was a fun little stream, just hanging out with Ian, busting raps and drinking some drink. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good stream. People are impersonating Danny Filth on YouTube, and it's pretty stupid. I highly doubt it's the real Danny Filth. I honestly don't know, to be honest. I hope Alex Campbell's okay. I do worry about him, even if I did disagree with some of the shit he said on his YouTube. Sean's doing just fine. He's chilling out, sitting here being his sneaky little asshole self, as usual. And quite frankly, I get sick and tired of people spreading rumors about my friends. It's just stupid internet bullshit. I love you, Josh. Long live Ozzy, baby. Well, I appreciate that, Goth Moth. That's what's up. No, I got a little bit of a buzz, yeah. Sitting here drinking some water. To avoid a hangover, you drink a little bit of water before you pass out, and it'll help your kidneys process the alcohol. My Weed the People shirt, yeah, it's pretty sick. That's what's up, CJ. When's Satan's spell gonna be? I don't know, dude. I'm just fucking flying. Get the fuck out of here. I crack open the window to see that beautiful thunderstorm outside and the flies flying in. I don't know when the fuck that new album's gonna be done. Just throwing it together. And I got this crazy idea for a song. I can't change the world. I don't want the world to change me, which should be a parody to Ozzy's I don't want to change the world. I don't want the world to change me. And to a degree, I now totally understand that song and its context. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You try to change the world, and you can't change the world. All you can do is change yourself. And it's frustrating, because the last couple of days I'm getting made fun of for crying about 9/11 and school shootings on a 9/11 tribute video, slamming some beer, and these fucking biggest, most miserablest pieces of shit are sitting there making fun of me for it and calling me a sociopath and all this other shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people, dude? It fucking boggles my mind. It boggles the bogglem's mind as to why people do this shit. Like, there are some celebrities I don't like. I'm not going to spend all day harassing them, let alone giving them shit for crying when they're sad. It just seems stupid, to be honest. And if I showed no empathy on 9/11, you would have called me the world's biggest piece of shit anyway. So, I'd rather get made fun of for crying like a bitch than fucking, you know. It just shows I got more empathy than my trolls do, to be honest. Now we're doing a party sub food hack. That's next on the list of food hacks. And then after that, I'm going to revisit the Mickey D's food hack that I did and order it right the first time. And yeah. They're all going to get dislikes. I don't care at this point, YouTube. I don't care. I could make a fucking video about puppies and people would dislike it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of social media. It's fucking stupid. Those are my next two food hacks I'm planning. Going down to the post office tomorrow to check my P.O Box. And on the way down there, I'll collect some wand wood. So there you go. You want a pro tip for avoiding hangovers after some heavy drinking? You drink plenty of water before you go to bed. It hydrates your kidneys. It helps the alcohol process faster. If you have a hangover in the morning, drink some Sprites. Drinking Sprite soda pop will prevent hangovers in the morning. You wake up in the morning like, take a shot of whatever you were drinking the night before, and then chase it with a couple cups of Sprite, and you'll be doing just fine. Pro tip for avoiding hangovers. Like, I don't have to do anything to piss these people off, but the comments on slow mode and people get pissed off. Just simply existing pisses people off. That's how I know I'm famous. It's just me existing pisses people off. And sure, I might make fun of Tom Brady for crying after losing a football game, but that's just, you know, comparatively speaking, that kind of makes me a hypocrite. But at the same time, I think 9/11 is a bit more tragic than losing the goddamn Super Bowl. Which, granted, yeah, I mentioned that would suck if you lost the Super Bowl, or like if you lost a game, you know. But dude, come on. And truth be told, I shouldn't be giving people shit for crying because I've done it on camera several times. So I guess that comment was a little too far, but excuse me for being empathetic or trying to be empathetic. What about toxic negativity? You're not allowed to feel sorry or have empathy or call yourself this and that unless you have a sob story. Fuck that. Think about that. It's like you can't be negative or be pissed off at someone without having a good reason. Therefore, it's toxic. Like, is that where our society is going to come to next? It's fucking stupid, YouTube. You're not allowed to feel sorry for someone without them having a legit sob story. And that's just the whole toxic idea of toxic positivity. Everyone's got a story to tell. You can't change the goddamn world. You want to make the world a better place. And getting upset over that's not going to do you any good. It's just going to make you more sad and depressed. So it's just like, what do? You get over it. As long as you're a good person for the most part, who gives a shit? When I say for the most part, it's because you can't change the world. You can't change what other people do. You might be able to introduce concepts and ideas like power to the people, power's in our hands to change it, to stop sexism, racism, and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? But you can't overall change the world. And if you're a decent motherfucker, then don't let the world change you. That's just the truth, YouTube. It's very easy to get depressed about your own personal circumstances, but to be told that you can't be depressed unless you have a legit reason, we're going to call that toxic depression. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's going to happen. Some fucking idiot on TikTok's going to be like, okay, so like if you're depressed because you don't have a girlfriend, then you don't get to be depressed because that's not a sad enough reason to be depressed. And that's called toxic depression. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, everyone's depressed about some shit. Doesn't mean we have to make it about a competition. You know what I'm saying? That's just the vibe I get from the whole toxic positivity bullshit. Is what's next? Toxic depression. Oh, you can't be depressed because your reason's not legit enough. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Like to a degree, that's true, but at the same time, it's like, who are you to judge? Everyone's depressed about something. That's just part of being human. No, I thought about that, YouTube, as I was walking back from a friend's house. I'm like, what has our society become? This whole toxic positivity bullshit. Where if you try to be positive to someone, it's because the only reason is because they have a good enough sob story. And I'm like, holy crap. And then I got thinking about it. What about toxic depression? You know, could that become a thing where it's just like, yeah, but here's a person who's legally blind and you're complaining because you have ADHD and a hard time focusing. And then you look at the person with ADHD and be like, you're toxic because your disability is not severe enough. Instead of being like, oh, hey, people want to do good and better the world and better themselves, everyone gets depressed at the same time. Nope, it's all about how toxic our culture is. And to an extent, yes, our culture is very toxic. But when you're sitting there saying you can't be nice to someone without it being toxic, that's where I draw the goddamn line, YouTube. Like, unfortunately, yeah, there are some real assholes who pretend to be nice just to skate through life, and, you know, it's fake as shit, and it sucks because it ruins it for the decent motherfuckers out there that are just like, oh, hey, wait, what? And that's very similar to the dating scene. You're going to encounter a lot of sluts and asshole men, ladies and gentlemen. And it ruins it for the good ones out there. It's no different. It's no different outside of the dating scene. It's no different than being nice to someone. What's next? You can't hold the door for someone without it being toxic because you're a sexist male pig or some shit. Oh, wait, that already happened. I did get a little depressed earlier, but I got over it because I realized I have nothing to be depressed about. So what if you have Asperger's? Who gives a shit? So what if fucking you're going through some personal shit, like it's not the end of the fucking world kind of thing. Which also got me thinking about the whole toxic depression thing, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not allowed to be negative or toxic unless you have a legit reason to be. So when it's just like, that's stupid. No one's sitting here forcing you to be happy all the goddamn time. That's just simply not going to fucking happen. Hate to be the buzzkill here, but life isn't all puppies and rainbows and sunshine and peaches. You're going to have your rainy days too, man. It's a metaphor, I guess, because personally speaking, I like rain and I like thunderstorms. But I get you want to be the next big movement and change the world, but when people are trying way too hard to do that, on top of trying way too hard to be politically correct, it just gets annoying. You're race baiting everything, everything's racist, everything's sexist, everything's offensive, and everything's toxic. It's just like, can we not do this? I agree that toxic behavior in our culture should be eliminated along with sexism and racism, but there are people out there who try way too hard. And when it gets to the point where you're doing mental gymnastics like clouds are not racist. Wait, what? Why? Because they're white. Ugh. Oh my God. And now apparently you can't support the United States flag as a proud American because that's racist too. Kiss my American ass. Oh, you support the United States flag because it's a symbol of our freedom. And someone argue, yeah, but minorities have not had it so easy. And yeah, I agree, that's bullshit. And if I had a fucking time machine, I'd go back in fucking time. I'd stop 9/11, and I'd stop all the fucking sexism and racism in our society. You know, and I would too. It'd be glorious. How would you do it, Cobra? I look at all these white bastards that are giving women and blacks no rights, and I want to be like, hey, listen here, motherfucker. They bleed the same color we bleed. Should that be enough to unite us? After all, you spent, ironically, escaping England's slavery hold from the king just to enslave a bunch of other people. That seems a bit hypocritical. And it's like, oh, well, ain't that a bitch? And on top of that, you're going to kill a bunch of innocent people for their land and steal it from the natives. I'm like, holy crap. And then you want to bitch about King George of England taking away your freedom, and that's why you had to escape to the New World. Holy shit. And what fucking kills me, because now Americans these days, if Mexicans or anyone else tries to come into our country and make a better life for themselves, they have this whole no immigrants bullshit. And I'm just like, yeah, well, if it was because you're worried about spreading coronavirus, I could kind of see it. But if you're using that just to disguise, if you're using that whole coronavirus bullshit to disguise your racism, you can go fuck yourself. Because America is the land of the free and the land of opportunity. And if you want to come to this country and you want to provide something to society, maybe, making it a cesspool of different cultures, sharing your cuisines, you know what I'm saying? You share your culture as far as like your music and your food goes. And it creates diversity amongst everything. YouTube. Best way to experience someone's culture is through their food. That's the goddamn truth. And if you were already born in this fucking country and you want to bitch about how hard it is, then you can go live in a third world country where there's like, you know what I'm saying? So like toxic depression would be more of a thing than being toxic positive, to be honest, if you really think about it. But at the same time, it's like everyone's depressed about something. It's how you deal with it, I suppose. Having a couple beers with homies and just bullshit in the breeze, hang out with friends, whatever. Yeah. And fuck suicide, dude. I don't give a fuck how depressed you get. Fuck that shit. It's not worth it. It's just not. It's a waste. It's a goddamn waste. Well, unless you're a horrible, miserable piece of shit like my trolls. Because anyone who sits there and makes fun of an autistic for crying on 9/11 would be better off just doing the world a favor. You feel me, YouTube? And it's like, that's a little savage, a little mean, but bruh. I don't, like, I've never had anyone personally in my life who was affected by that. But as a kid, when I was a kid when 9/11 happened, dude, that has a lasting impact on you as a person. Even if you don't know the people that were personally affected, and I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but that's just the goddamn truth. It got to a point in that stream where you started thinking about, like, ever since then, we've had all this other crap happen, and on top of that, the virus, and it's just like, ugh, dude. And I got a little emotional. Make fun of me for it, why don't you, you fucking pricks? No, it's the goddamn truth, YouTube. It is the fucking truth. And people don't like hearing the truth. They really don't. They really fucking don't. Even if I think the coronavirus is bullshit, I still feel bad for the people who have died because of it. That's some scary shit, dude. You know, so it's like you can take it seriously or you can't. It's your personal choice, but some shit happens because of such and such or whatever. It's your own goddamn fault. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible for your consequences, YouTube. That's all I'm saying. I'll give you an example. If people see me drinking all the time on YouTube, the consequence is people are going to think I'm an alcoholic. Quite the contrary. As demonstrated in my tribute video, sometimes all you need is two. "27 minutes? Damn. Just because life isn't always going to be the easiest or the happiest doesn't mean you got to be depressed all the time. And it certainly means you don't have to be happy-go-lucky all the time. You got to find a healthy balance. Because if you're depressed and angry all the goddamn time, no one's going to want to be around you. But if you're happy-go-lucky all the fucking time, people will fucking screw you over quicker than you can say hell's bells. I've always said this on my channel, and it's the goddamn truth. You got to find a healthy balance between having some backbone and not being afraid to tell people to fuck off, but at the same time, you know, don't be a complete asshole. Which is hard because you try to help people anymore, and people take advantage of you and screw you over. And then you try to help people, and you get labeled as toxic for it. It's just, ugh, dude. But what do you guys think of the concept of toxic depression? Do you think that's a real thing? If we're gonna have a conversation about having it be toxic positivity being a thing, then toxic negativity and toxic depression are gonna be a thing. And that seems kind of stupid too, to be honest. I think realizing that it could be worse and it's okay to be depressed about certain things, just don't want to get the best of you, you know? That's what makes us human, I guess. Or as human as we can be. But at the same time, having enough common sense to be like, yeah, you know, it could be worse. You know, it's kind of like this. How's this for a metaphor? You go to get an ice cream cone from the ice cream truck, and you're sitting there licking it, and you trip and fall, and your ice cream cone spills everywhere. And now you're sad because you spilled your ice cream, but the person standing next to you is lactose intolerant, so they can't have ice cream without getting the massive shits and they have a super allergic reaction to it. You know what I'm saying? At worst, you could be like, you know what, you can always get another ice cream cone. At least you're not, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I try to look at life, if that makes any sense. Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna have a smoke and go to bed. I'll catch you cool covers later.